So, Germany said, so this, oh, I forgot to talk. This is a World War I scenario, alternative history. So, Germany, so Germany talks to Russia and the United Kingdom about alliance between all three of them. And they both agree to this alliance and they call it the Northern Pact. But shortly after this, in 1914, Austria-Hungary, Archduke Franz Ferdinand gets shot in Sarajevo. You know the whole thing. Except because Germany left Austria undelivered for their alliance, they opened up more ties with Italy and France. And with my great exterior planning, I already colored in their colonies, except for this one. Anyways, but Russia wants Serbia, the Serbs, to not be threatened, or Slavics, to not be threatened by Austria, so they join in on the war. And because now these two declare war on Russia, that brings in the Northern Pact. Hey, look. Oh, now it's a world war. Yep. So, the beginning of this war sees Germany wanting Germany begins a quick and swift invasion of Czechia and little bits of Slovakia. But they know that the Russians are going to take a while to mobilize, and even the Austro-Hungarian Empire, which is very unstable with a lot of instability, they start an invasion into Russia. But luckily, German troops arrive and swiftly push them back. And I hate it when that happens, when it goes like that. So I'll try and respect the border. Go in a little bit, switch to the other color, paint it. There we go. Jesus Christ. Anyways. But in the southern front, the Montenegro and Serbia are holding against the Austrian attacks. A slight advance is being made on the Austrian front. With the British on Germany's side, Germany can now do the Schlieffen Plan without very much British protests, or the British not getting involved on the opposite side. So they quickly begin the Schlieffen Plan, and without British aid, the Schlieffen Plan is actually quite successful, except for the part of taking Paris, which Paris isn't taken. Yeah, they weren't. Paris wasn't taken yet. Anyways, so now, let's talk about colonies. Yay! Over on this side first. So, the British Raj begins a quick invasion of Indochina, taking over much of northern Laos. Or northern Indochina. Anyways. So, the British are going to need this section the British are going to need this section because of the Suez, getting out, so on and so forth. They'd just be stuck in the Red Sea if they don't get Djibouti and Eritrea. So they quickly begin an invasion of northern Eritrea, which goes quite well until they hit French and Italian defenses, and half of Djibouti is captured by the British. Anyways, in Somaliland, the Italians quickly advance, and basically now the British need a route of escape and defending Djibouti from the Italians if Somaliland were to fall. Anyways, oh wait, yep. Anyways, so now Germany begins an invasion into Central Africa. Not Central African Republic, but Central Africa. Oops. And now they begin their invasion over into. They start to try and take the Chad Lake. With help of German and British troops, they managed to link up their colonies. But shortly after that, Gambia and Sierra Leone are both capitulated by the French. The Belgians were the Belgian army in the Congo they were surrounded on all sides. Well, you could have just looked at the map and saw that, but I digress. You see, I got the bucket tool out. You know what that means? More friends for either side, but mainly only the Central Powers. Yay. Bulgaria and the Ottomans both join in on the Central Power side. Of course they did. They always do. Or they did in our timeline too. Which caught Serbia with their pants down, so they are quickly capitulated with the help of the Austrians and Bulgarians. The North Africa campaign begins with the help of the Ottomans. They go all the way to the Suez, almost taking Cairo and what is it? What's the other one? Like Alexandria. Oh yeah, Kuwait falls to the Ottomans. The British send a couple of diplomats to Oman and Saudi Arabia, and they both join in, launching what in our timeline was called the Arab Spring, which I will also refer to as the Arab Spring, with a revolt in this section of Iraq and also in Jerusalem, and also because why not? With the boost of hey, we can win this for the Middle East for the Arabs, they begin fighting en masse, and also around color. But on my second screen, they both look like the same color, so yeah. Iran and Afghanistan both join in on the after pressure from Austria-Hungary. and with promises of all their wildest dreams will come true. Hey, look, it's France. Brazil and Colombia signed on, with some added countries on the northern pact side of Paraguay, Uruguay, Ecuador, Venezuela, and Panama. And Mongolia and China, and Japan's hearing wildest dreams, they say sign me up and declare war on the Chinese. Well, Japan does. Mongolia didn't want that because, well, now they're surrounded on all sides. So the Japanese and Mongolians' first priority is to link up their troops. So with a swift invasion of Vladivostok and Manchuria, the Japanese caught the Russian and Chinese off guard because, well, they weren't expecting this. Because, well, who would think that a mainly European conflict would involve these guys? The Mongolians begin marching through the desert, the Gobi Desert, trying to link up with Japanese troops. And eventually they make it and link up their forces, cutting off this section of Manchuria from the rest of China. In Vietnam, or Indochina, there's a revolt against their French captors all across Vietnam and some parts of Cambodia, willingly turning over and hopefully they will never ever be subjugated by the British, because they willingly went to the other side. Definitely, it's not like that also happened to the Arabs or anyone else ever. But, the British are just swell old dudes. I forgot about the Middle East, so I have to do this now. Quickly taking over much of Kyrgyzstan and marching almost into Ottoman territory. You wanna know what? I don't feel like it. With a naval invasion over here, the Eritrea falls, and British troops are relieved and can be sent over to the Somalian front and kick the Italians off their soil, their occupied soil. And they begin their own invasion of Somalia, and also in Kenya, because they were just holding the front there. Until eventually the Italians hold a large enough defense to where they can't do too much. The Ottomans have now well deserved their title of the sick man of Europe. Then the Afghanis and Iranians are wondering why did we sign on, because both of them are surrounded on all sides except for the sick man of Europe. So yeah. With them closing in on this section, the Afghanistan government begins a quick retreat of all their forces into Iranian territory, which is when their favorite thing to do, called guerrilla warfare, happens. After the Russians march down from the Caucasus and take Tehran, all that's left of Iran is mountains. And, well, they aren't They don't have any coast. They are landlocked. They can't talk. They can't basically talk to the Ottomans without several kilometer of uh, occupied territory. They are just gonna say, "Well, you want to know what? Let's make this the biggest thorn in the ally side." Anyways, so over here, the the Russians and Chinese begin a massive invasion of uh, Mongolia, and now they all just dig in. Back in Europe, not much has changed over the past like 4 years. But now with a Russian breakthrough in the east, it looks like might actually win this war faster than they thought. And what's that? Oh, the Austrians dug in again. The Germans now have a new idea for what they're fighting for, and it's they say to their soldiers and people, we aren't. This is no longer an invasion. We're just liberating all Germans," which gives them that extra boost of morale to go over and take Vienna. So the rest of the Austrian government has to move to Budapest, which isn't a very good place to be in. But they do move to. So so after the Russians get word of this, they quickly take Budapest, and now they move down to Sarajevo, which is a way better spot. And hopefully, no one will try to kill them. What can I use Serbia? Anyways, over here, they're wrong color again. Over here, there's a quick invasion of Guyana in Venezuela. Quickly capitulating them both, and then Ecuador quickly capitulates over to the Colombians, and then they move up to the Panama Canal, which is when Panama actually holds them off. Anyways, down here, Uruguay quickly gets capitulated by the uh, Brazilians, and they quickly begin their advancement into Paraguay, but just like the Iranians. Oh, what's that? It's a little thing called guerrilla warfare. So now the British push back the Italians all the way back to their border in Libya, and now they say the North Africa campaign is going this way, marching across northern Libya, making it all the way to Tunisia. They begin an invasion from Sudan, basically planning to cut off this section of Africa off from this section of Africa. So with the help of German troops and their added morale, they cut off Middle Africa from the rest of Africa. Or the Belgians and French off from the rest of France and stuff. And Somalia capitulates, or Italy's colonies capitulate. So now they begin marching into the rainforest with those deadly mosquitoes. And now they are being held off by what's that? Oh, guerrilla warfare again. they begin marching into the Sahara. Not the best idea, but still. After the capture of Algiers and basically the rest of North uh, Africa, uh, France's colonies in Libya capitulate. But after hearing news of France's colonies capitulating, Africa and Asia being terrible for the Central Powers, and Europe's no better, the Brazilians and Colombians say, "Wait, we didn't sign up for this to just go down because you guys can't fight a war." So they are very upset at the Austrians, who are the ones who dragged them into this. And the Austrians send a diplomat from into Italy over around into Switzerland and put this little man named Vladimir Lenin on a choo-choo train going straight to St. Petersburg. He stops in Munich though, and when the German troops garrisoned there say, "Hey, where are you going?" St. Petersburg. "And who are you again?" Uh, uh, Vladimir Lenin. So he died in Munich. Yeah, that's how the Russian Revolution doesn't happen. Just if there's going to be a problem somewhere along this route, just kill him. So the German troops quickly continue their invasion of northern Italy, and then the Italians say, "Wait, we didn't sign up for this." And what's the more Italian thing than ever? Capitulate. Paris falls. What's that, France? So you want to surrender? And the Bulgarians are like, "But we did so well. I thought we were gonna win." "Yep, too bad. Your wildest dreams weren't gonna come true, buddy." I guess, was it like the 20th Crusade, I guess, happens. Because, the Russians, Istanbul, haha, funny joke. They liberate all this, ignore Serbia's colors. And now, that's it. Everything in Europe is over. They capitulate. Okay, and now all that's left is these guys, but they're like, all that's left is everyone who's not in Europe, and they're like, but we don't want this, so they all surrender. Or these guys surrender. These guys surrender. These guys just attend the peace conference because they won, basically. But that was not all. In fact, there was one country that felt spiteful after this treaty. A country that felt spiteful and oppressed. Like they shouldn't have lost all that land. So, how could... So after they were forced to... After all was said and done, Austria probably got it the worst for their European front. I already said set and done, but it's my second time recording this section, so... They basically demilitarized Sudetenland, and this section, so if the Italians want, they can just yoink. Forced to pay heavy reparations to Germany, Russia, and the United Kingdom. I'll actually make it look professional. So while I'm doing this, so Austria believes that they deserve so much more land, or they deserve to not get as punished as they did. But they need a charismatic leader to lead them through this. But come on. there's no charismatic leaders in the 30s. So, well, I learned my lesson now. I'm just gonna cut the video off after the wars, and then I'll make the peace treaty their own little section. I hate it when that happens. So, anyways, after we'll start off where the Central Powers got it the best, in South America, besides for France, because these guys were actually quite successful, and the British didn't really have no hard feelings about them losing the Guyana. So they say, hey, can we join your alliance actually, because we don't like them anymore. And then the British and Germans say, sure, hop on in. Colombia, so they split Guyana in half, gave the north half to Colombia and the south half to Brazil, because that's basically how they won the war. And Grand Colombia set up. French Guiana was given to Brazil, while they also got Paraguay and Uruguay. Let's go over to Asia now, where it was also quite welcome. So, after this war, the Korean Republic was set up. Taiwan was given to China, and Mongolia. Mongolia's north half was given to Russia. The rest was set up as just a regular government. You're probably thinking, why? Oh God, why? Why did he make the borders like this? It's like the British sphere of influence and Russian sphere of influence don't clash over their territory if they were to just split it in half. The Free Tehran Republic is set up over here. Let's go over to Africa. So the Free Arab Republic is set up with all these lands and territories from, the Ottomans, so on and so forth. Eritrea was given to the Ethiopians. Libya was set up as a democratic republic. I forgot to give, what's this called? I forget. I'm sorry, Moroccans. Morocco was set back up as a country. I forgot to color them in as France, but whatever. It didn't change too much. It would have changed anything actually. It's set back up as a as a Reichskommissariat for the Germans, just like Tanzania. Oh, fuck. Just like Middle Africa. The Germans got half of Benin. They got most of Central Africa. They got Madagascar, and that's about it. Oh yeah, remember what I said about Indochina? Yeah, they're underneath British rule now. Yeah, that definitely won't come back to bite them in the ass. Anyways, over to Europe, where most borders have been changed. Basically, the big three of the empires, the big three that were in this war are, I'll color their countries in. So those were the big three. That's their territories now. France got it the least bad. They lost a teensy-weensy bit of their border. That's all that Germany took. Austria lost half their territory, or more than half. They lost a lot of it. Bulgaria's eastern half was given to Serbia, now known as Yugoslavia, and Sofia's right there, so that's really exposed. Italy was broken apart, so now that the new Italian Republic. France, forgot about your colonies. Your colony. France might have gotten it the worst. Or the worst colonial. No, Italy did. But, yeah. So, that's how the peace treaty went for the Central Powers. With Hungary being set up, Genoa was reset up, and basically, as a thank you for giving us the idea of setting up Germany as a country, they say, hey Genoa, want this island again? So for context, when Napoleon was born on Corsica. So, and the only reason, and 1 year before Napoleon was born, Genoa was was experiencing a revolt on Corsica. So they said to France, "Hey France, you want to buy this island?" And they said, "Sure thing." So they bought. So that's why they own Corsica, and not. And Italy doesn't own Corsica. Istanbul is set up as a free republic, so the strait isn't controlled by any one country, or any one country, like in the terms of like we pass through, and no one can be like, haha, we're just gonna stop you from passing through. And that's about it.